Hey guys, it's Renee here with Cogs Outdoors. Today I'm going to show you guys a really quick, fucking cat. Okay, so in this video, I'm just going to show you guys a couple of really useful tools that I've been using for a few years now. One is called River App, and the other one is a government website you can go onto, which is showing you very similar sort of information. And what these things are key and super useful for is tracking river levels, so the rise, the fall, a few other things. You know, you can kind of cross-reference between what a river system is at, and then, you know, actually get out there, get a visual of what it looks like at that level, document it into a journal, and then the next time you go out, maybe the river's fluctuated, or, you know, it's risen or dropped a bunch, get back out there and go back and see you know, what some of those changes are, whether it's fishing spots or even rapids. You know, we all know that higher water can make rapids bigger, and it can also make them significantly smaller or completely wash out. So I'm just going to show you guys a really brief breakdown of these two tools, and then and if you're not using them already, hopefully this is going to help you out. And yeah, so I'm going to show you that here in this video. So I'm going to make this really straightforward. So there's two ways that you can figure out water levels actually all throughout the world. There's this great app, and it's called River App. So you can see right here this little icon. So if you can download the River App, it gives you access to basically a list of rivers and lakes, streams all throughout the world. We're in British Columbia, Canada, so Canada right here. So you can just click on that icon, and you can see that in Canada it's got basically all the provinces and territories. So select whichever province it is that you are in or you're looking to go fishing in. We're in British Columbia, so I'll click on British Columbia, and now it's given me a list of all the rivers, lakes in this area that have water gauges. We'll go to my favorites list. We'll go to the Chilliwack River, and you can see when you open that up, it shows you all the different sections. So the Chilliwack Canyon, the Chilliwack Classic, Slessie to Tamahai. So in the whitewater world, the classic run is that section there. Post Creek to Camp Foley, and Tamahai to Osborne. And then if you scroll down, it shows the two gauges, so above Slessie Creek and at the Vetter Crossing. For the fishing world, this is pretty much what I do when I want to know A, what I'm getting into, what the river might look like, especially if there's been a drastic weather system, whether it's rain, warmth. You know, right now it's the middle of February, so things like, you know, a nice warm sunny day is going to melt the snow and it's going to affect the river level. So all I'll do is I'll click in a spot, either Slessie Creek or let's just say the Vetter Crossing. So right now it's showing that the gauge is on a slight downward drop. So if you just put your finger on that graph and pull down, it's giving you hourly updates on what the water is actually doing. So on the 17th at 8:40 in the morning, it was 1.49. A little bit of a bump up there in the middle of the afternoon. And it's gone all the way down to 1.47 at 11:30 on the 18th. So this is good. So with this app, this is allowing you to look at the last 48 hours. What you'll see if there is a big spike in the water level is basically this little chart here will be going down. You'll often just see a line that goes straight up. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's showing you that the river is on its way up, it's rising in level. And that's usually where people start asking questions, you know, hey, like the water's up, it's been raining, what's going on? You know, what's the water color? At the end of the day, you need to, you know, you can ask questions, but your best advantage is going to be to get used to kind of documenting what those spikes and falls look like and how each river system reacts. There's a couple of systems out here that act completely different from the Chilliwack, where you can get a huge amount of rain and those waters, you know, the water does rise, but the water doesn't get dirty. You know, the Chilliwack has a number of things draining into it, you know, the clay banks, some slides, other smaller tributaries dumping in, so it definitely gets dirty a lot quicker than some other places. You know, I have gone to the river in a very steep spike and the water was perfect. So it's just a matter of kind of getting out. You know, one of the best things you can do is cross-reference what the water level is when you go with, you know, the spots on the river that you're fishing. So for instance, today it's at 1.47. I'm not out fishing, but I do know that at this level, the river is very low and some areas are great for, let's say, spoon fishing, and other areas, you know, it's just very, you know, very small little buckets. You don't have nice big tailouts and swinging areas, so you might want to tailor what it is that you're going to go fish with in certain areas based on water levels. And that just takes, you know, time and, you know, a little bit of patience to be able to, you know, get out there, you know, during a drastic rise or fall in the river and start cross-referencing, you know, making a little journal and saying, you know, at this time, you know, last year at this spot in high water, you know, a lot of coho were holding in this spot. And, you know, so you go home and you mark it down and then, you know, you get out there and the water's dropped, you know, half a meter and you realize, well, those fish aren't holding there anymore. They've actually pushed out. So another part to this app that I can show you here is if you go back and go to, say, Tamahai to Osborne. So here it shows you 3 lines. So there's a red line for the high water, medium water is in yellow, and then low water is in green. And we're even, right now, we're like well below that low water mark. So this is another great tool to know, you know, what the river's looking like when you get out there. You can still do lots of fishing in this medium water. High water is pretty tricky. If it stays high and cleans up, there's still definitely fishing to be done. But again, you know, it's kind of up to you to get out there and figure out where on that system you can fish and what's the most productive at those different stages. And then another thing that a lot of people don't even realize, and I actually don't think a lot of people use it, it's more in the whitewater world when it comes to rafting and you know, running a boat on that river, is they have this option in the top corner called hazards and info. So if you click on that, you can actually write down, this person here saw a black bear drown a fawn. Okay, well that's random. But you can actually put something in the notes there for people to kind of get a heads up on what might be out there. So like a log jam or, you know, something. So you go to classic, there's another hazard there. This person said lots of wood in the Allison Pool area. It will start moving as the water comes up. So that's from 2018. That's old news. You know, so it shows, yeah, it's not really being used that much, but you can definitely, you know, if there's something major and you feel like you want to put it in there, I mean, give her, write something in there. So, you know, there's a couple other places, you know, Similkameen, same kind of thing. It's a ditch and it's probably frozen. But, you know, you can check out any river, you know, that has a gauge that's on here. And yeah, super useful tool. If you don't use the river app, there is a government website that you can go to, and I'll show you that here in a second. Okay, so this is your other option. If you go to this website at the top, wateroffice.ec.gc.ca. It's going to give you a web page that you can navigate through to figure out, again, water levels. It's also, you know, if you're checking out tides, if you're fishing on the Fraser, you know, it's a good way to figure out the timing of the tides going in and out. So on this one here, same kind of deal. You got to scroll down. It's a little bit trickier to navigate than the water app, but you know, it is another option. So I just go here to the real-time hydrometric data, click on that, and then it's going to give you station search, map search, data mark, you know, a whole bunch of different things. I just go to station search, scroll down, then you can type in, you know, let's say we're going to do the Fraser River, hit search, scroll down, and now it shows you all of the different station names. For me, I'm going to check up here at Hope, so you just have to click there in the little box. Make sure you only have one clicked at a time. Sometimes if you click two, then you're going to get a mixed up report. So hit view report, and now you can see here what the Fraser River has been doing over the last few days. It's definitely been doing some kind of up and down, and you know, we did have that warm weather and rain, so that's what's going to be affecting here with the water coming up. You know, it's not coming up a ton, but anyways, that's just another way to get an idea of what's going on out there in the water. Same thing, you can use this website to look at the Chilliwack River. It doesn't quite have as many systems as the app does, but again, it's just another you know, option for you to have an idea of what's going on out there in the river. So I really just broke that down to the basics. I'm hoping that that helped you guys. There's definitely more you can kind of get into and get a little more in depth with them. But to get you started, definitely try it out. A little bit of legwork on your end. Like I was saying, document it. You know, document the levels, the day you went out, you know, the system, the type of fish you're targeting, or the type of rapid it was that you were playing in. And then the next time you're out, just make it part of your routine to get out there and then document what it is you saw out there. And I pretty much guarantee it's going to make your days out there on the river a little more successful.